Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Blow hands into the blow air into the hands. Double clap. Kick out the show. All right, guys, let's get it. Let's get it. We're talking about 6 expensive neurodivergent mistakes. I am your host, Kojo Sarfo, aka Dr. Kojo. We're going to be talking a little bit about a couple of mistakes that I have made. I made all these mistakes, so this is not just me talking as Dr. Kojo. I'm talking as Kojo as well. But as we talk about these 6 expensive neurodivergent mistakes, we will also answer a couple of questions at the end of the live stream. And I'll also talk about my comedy show dates. As many of you all already know, we're in the middle of a tour. We are in the middle of a tour, which is why I've been so tired as of late, but also why I've been so fulfilled in my soul as of late. And it's been worth the soul fulfillment. So go ahead and use the comment section to let me know your name and where you are checking in from. And then we will go ahead and get started. The last unicorn is the first comment here on Twitch. Look at that. The Twitch community showing up. We're streaming on a couple of different platforms tonight. Let me just go ahead and name them out. We are streaming live on Facebook. Chris, good to see you. We're streaming live on LinkedIn. We're streaming live on both my YouTube pages, Twitch, TikTok, and Kick. Once again, that's Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, TikTok. So we got 6. If y'all count with me at home, we got 6. We have Joan checking in from Indiana. We have Amy checking in from Corpus Christi, Texas. Nice to see y'all. We have Uche checking in from Georgia on TikTok. Zach tuning in from England on TikTok. On TikTok, we also have Ollie checking in from Massachusetts. Destiny checking in from Eastern North Carolina. Alma checking in from Brownsville, Texas. Mary Robinson from Idaho. Jesse from Yuma, Arizona. Zach, good to see you. So people are getting their seats. They're filing on in. We're going to have a great live stream. We have love from Louisville, Kentucky. Okay. Shout out to Louisville, Kentucky. Shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out. This is also a great time for me to mention the tour dates. Starting with Detroit, Michigan. Where are my words today? I could tell with the way I started off the live stream. I'm like, it may be hard for me to find my words today, but I'm going to do my best to catch it. Some days you can't find your words. You're like, let me find my words. I'm going to fight for every word. I'm fighting for every word. I'm fighting for it. Ashley, good to see you. Love from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lubbock, Texas as well. Let me see. Ember, thank you for coming through. We have Kelly from Oklahoma. Awesome, 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 awesome. Well, it is a pleasure to see you all. And like I said, it's time to talk about my comedy show dates. The very next show will be in Detroit, Michigan at the Comedy Bar. That's going to be Friday 11th. Obviously, when you hear September 11th, we think of 9/11, and we will never forget the people that lost their lives on that day. And 9/11 is a great time to sit back and pause and reflect and really think about, at least what I think about right now is the division that we have in this country. We're pretty divided and there's a lot that's going on. But when you have days like September 11th, I think it gives you a good chance to really sit back and just understand how lucky and how blessed we are, and realize that we don't have to wait until tragedy strikes until we love and support each other. So just want to go and say that. And Chris, shout out to Chris from Lubbock, Texas. I didn't say a name. Shout out to Chris from Lubbock, Texas. So we have a show, Detroit, September 11th. But before I announce the remaining shows that we have lined up for you all, I do want to take some time and acknowledge the passing of Dolly Parton, a Tennessee legend, or should I say an international legend from Tennessee. She passed away today at 80 years old. I got the news on YouTube. Ironically, I was on YouTube and I saw a video about people reacting to Dolly Parton's death, and it said 1 hour ago. After that, I went to Yahoo to make sure that this wasn't a hoax, because we see celebrity hoaxes all the time where they'll say a famous celebrity has passed away, and I'm like, all right, Dolly Parton didn't pass away. I go to Yahoo.com. The first article that pops up says Dolly Parton passed away, 80 years old. And I just took some time to, just really sit with it. We've lost a lot of people this year. Dolly Parton. We've lost, I think, Chuck Norris, Hayden Panettiere. So a lot of legends have left us this year, and I just want to acknowledge the fact that Dolly Parton passed away today, and she's a legend. And I think that she left the world a better place than it was when she found it. And we should all do our best to emulate that in our own way. We all have a light. You know that song, This Little Light of Mine? Like, we all have a little light of ours, and I think it's important to let it shine. So, once again, rest in peace, Dolly Parton. And yeah, I'm gonna have to sit with that for a while. It's quite shocking, even though she was up there in age. When legends pass away, it's quite shocking. Whew. Just need some time to just really sit with that. So, Dolly Parton. I was just in Tennessee not too long ago. Obviously, you all know I had my comedy show in Huntsville, Alabama, about a week and a half ago, and we made a pit stop in Nashville, and we drove through. We drove from Nashville down to Huntsville, Alabama, and there's these truck stop stations. One of them is called Dolly. Like, Dolly Parton purchased these truck stop stations, and my tour manager and I were talking about the fact that Dolly has a truck stop station, and we thought it was a strip club the way it looked. So we're like, oh, we didn't know Dolly Parton had purchased these truck stops. She has another entrepreneurial endeavor. So we were just talking about her, and then to find out that she's passed away. So once again, very, very sad, very tragic. Yeah, Catherine, she had a long, great life. Yep. And Weed Tart says, love you, brother. I love y'all too. I love everybody in my community. I really love and I appreciate y'all. So thank y'all for being the best community. And thank y'all for your attention. Not just tonight, but also throughout the years. Stephanie says, I get to finally see you after 6 years this year. Stephanie, I'm looking forward to that. I'm assuming that you're talking about the San Diego show. So that's going to be great. San Diego show is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And Victoria's saying, yes, Dolly, sorry, rest in peace. Okay. Coming to Detroit. Yes, I'm coming to Detroit. September 11th at the Comedy Bar. And let me read the remaining dates here, and then we'll get to the live stream tonight. So we have Detroit, September 11th at the Comedy Bar. Then we have September 17th. We're going to be in Chandler, Arizona, in the greater Phoenix area. So if you're anywhere in Phoenix, Gilbert, Mesa, anywhere, even if you're in Tucson, make the drive over to Chandler, Arizona on September the 17th. It's going to be a Thursday night. It's going to be a very special show in Phoenix. I have a good friend of mine opening up for me, Shawnee Tran. She's a therapist as well. And I think y'all will love to hear her perspective and her opinions and her thoughts. And this is her stand-up comedy debut. So it feels really good to have her join me in Chandler, Arizona. So if y'all in the greater Phoenix area, that's September 17th, a Thursday night at 7 p.m. A week later, we're going to be in Cleveland, Ohio at the Funny Bone, September 23rd, Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Cleveland, Ohio at the Funny Bone. The very next day, September 24th, we're going to be Columbus, Ohio, once again at the Funny Bone. That's September 24th, a Thursday night at 7 p.m. The following week after that, I told you September is pretty busy. We're going to be live in Virginia Beach, September 30th. It's a Wednesday night at 7 p.m. The next day is October the 1st. And on a Thursday night, we're going to be in Richmond, Virginia. Those two Virginia shows are very special to me. Virginia Beach on the 30th of September and Richmond, Virginia on the 1st of October. Those are two extremely special shows for me. Maybe some of y'all are not familiar with my journey, but I started creating content seriously for the first time ever when I was in Virginia. I was working in Williamsburg, Virginia, at the oldest state psychiatric hospital in the United States, Eastern State Hospital. I was doing forensic psychiatry out there, and I would make TikToks in my free time. And 6.5 years later, and 7 million followers later, we are here with this awesome and big, amazing brand. And we started in Williamsburg, Virginia. That's where I started to create content. So it's a very personal back-to-back shows for me in Virginia Beach and in Richmond, Virginia. And I cannot wait for those 2 dates. So that's going to be at the end of September, Virginia Beach, then Richmond, Virginia. So I get to roll back the clock and I get to go back to Virginia. That's cool. I haven't been to Virginia in a minute, so I get to go back to Virginia. The next show after that, we're going to be in Seattle, Washington at the Emerald City Comedy Club on October the 18th. That's going to be a Sunday night. We tried to do a show in Seattle in July. I was not able to deliver, and people were waiting on that show. Now, we finally have a show in Seattle, Washington on October the 18th. A Sunday night is going to be amazing. I made a video talking about the Seattle freeze yesterday, and apparently people in Seattle don't always talk to everybody else, and they like to stay in their house, and sometimes they can be a bit standoffish. But on October the 18th, on a Washington State Sunday night, I'm expecting y'all to come on out, Seattle, Washington. So y'all been asking about a Pacific Northwest show, and this is the first PNW show that we have. We'd like to come to Portland eventually. I know y'all will ask about that, but we do have a show in Seattle, Washington, October the 18th, Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. West Coast time. Then Atlanta, Georgia, November the 7th, Atlanta, Georgia, 7 p.m. I go back to Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta is my first headlining gig. I did Atlanta 2 years ago. That was the first time I headlined anywhere. I did Atlanta, and then after that I went to Alaska. But Atlanta, Georgia, obviously I grew up there. I grew up between Nashville, Tennessee and Atlanta, Georgia. I went to high school at Campbell High School in Smyrna, Georgia. So Atlanta is another home to me. So it is a homecoming show for me in Atlanta, Georgia. And I would love nothing more for y'all to pull up on November 7th on a Saturday night. Come on out, Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to have a great time. Then we have the last show of the year, which is going to be in San Diego, California. San Diego Superchargers. They don't have the Chargers anymore, but I will be coming back to San Diego to charge up the crowd. You see how I did that? On December the 3rd, on a Thursday night. So, San Diego, a wonderful town. People say that it's better than LA. You might be right in some aspects. But San Diego is an awesome town, and I will be excited to come to San Diego, California on December the 3rd. So yes, we're busy, we're booked, we're traveling all over the place, but hopefully I will see you in one of the cities that I just mentioned. Leilani, nice to see you. She's our moderator checking in from New York City. Nice to see you. We have some more love from Houston and Vancouver. Someone says Hotlanta. Anybody who says Hotlanta is not from Atlanta. That's a dead giveaway. But yes, Hotlanta, Atlanta, yes. And Stephanie, those were great live streams. Those are some really good live streams that I used to do back in the day on TikTok. I know the day ones remember the live streams back in the day on TikTok. I used to just boot up the phone and I was talking anyhow. Like I had some classic stories. Like the one time I got caught up between those two girls. Oh my goodness. I had some classic stories on we had some story times on TikTok. This is way before I got a publicist. So I was talking crazy. I was running my mouth. I was just talking wild. But yeah, good times. Kojo Jr. is doing good. Kojo Jr. in the skits he's doing good. Oh yeah, I remember back in the day I said that we would do a wife reveal on TikTok when I got to 1 million followers. Now we are at 3 million followers, and ain't no wife reveal. We have some, social media wives. I got a couple of those, but a legitimate wife reveal. I did promise y'all that at 1 million. I ain't gonna lie, but ain't got around to that yet. But we'll take a social media wife or a couple of social media wives for now, until we get a legitimate one, if that's the path that we, so choose to go down. Oh my goodness. Oh, let's scratch and then let's hop into tonight's topic. Everybody scratch. Go ahead and stretch a little bit. Ooh, 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 ooh. I know y'all heard that. Ooh, get that scratching. Get that scratching. Get that scratching. Someone says, so did you break up with her? I see someone else now. If you're on TikTok, go ahead and answer Alex's question for me. Those of y'all who are familiar with my story, my social media wives, and what I do, go ahead and assist Alex while I hop into tonight's live stream. Okay, we're talking about 6 expensive neurodivergent mistakes. And when I say expensive, it is a double meaning. So I'm talking about financially, but not just financially. I'm also talking about personally, emotionally. There's different ways to exhaust yourself via a couple of mistakes that you can make. And I have 6 of them that we tend to make as neurodivergents, and they're all pretty costly. So we're going to talk about them. Somebody is here for the first time live. If you are here for the first time live, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, guys. So the 6 expensive mistakes, and these are not the only mistakes that neurodivergents make. All right, we make more than 6. All right, but I got 6 for y'all tonight. All right, so 6 expensive mistakes that neurodivergents may make. Number 1, impulse buying during hyperfixations. I had a rule that I implemented maybe 15 years ago with my older sister. We had just begun our new jobs at the Level 1 Trauma Center in Macon, Georgia. We were working as registered nurses there. And at that time, I don't know what they pay RNs right now. I'm sure it's gone up, but I haven't worked as RN in maybe a decade, so I don't know what RN pay is. But back then, I was making $20 an hour. Working as a registered nurse with my associate's degree. Keep in mind, I don't come from money. Not at all. So when I got my first paycheck and I looked at my sister and I was like, hey, we're rich now. If people know that we have this much money on us, they're going to try and kill us. We're making $20 an hour. I had never made money before. So naturally, when you've never made money before, you like to spend it. Spend that shit. Spend that. Like, we're just spending the money. Because I never had money before. And we quickly had to come up with a rule that if something is past a certain dollar amount, before we purchase that thing, we will call each other and consult with one another before we made that purchase. And the number that we agreed upon was $400. $400. And back in 2013, $400 went a lot further than it goes today. But I still think $400 is a pretty sizable amount of money. Like if you lost $400, it kind of mess up your day. Like you think about it. And if somebody randomly gave you $400, you'd be pretty happy. So if anything was over $400, before I would buy it, I would call my sister and tell her that I want to buy this thing. And we would talk it through before we made the purchase. When you're neurodivergent, especially with ADHD, sometimes we'll become inspired or we'll be in the middle of a hyperfixation or we'll just get impulsive and we'll want to buy things without checking the budget to make sure that this is a budget-friendly purchase. So it helps to have rules. It helps to have protocols and standards and things that you do to prevent yourself from impulse buying. Making a budget, I found, is pretty easy. We can make a budget. Can we follow it though? We can make the budget. Making the budget is fine. Like, okay, I got some money for that. I got some money for this. I got some money. I put some money here. But following the budget is like, Because when it's time to follow the budget, that doesn't account the things that you will see on the TikTok shop and Amazon and YouTube and Uber Eats and DoorDash. Sometimes I'll be thinking about a random food that I'll have a taste for. And I'm like, is this DoorDashable? We've ended up creating new words. DoorDashable. Is it DoorDashable? Like, what the heck? DoorDashable? If you're an addict like me, and you also have the Dash Pass, you know what I'm talking about. Is it DoorDashable? Yeah. Like, back in the day, um, you know, now I'm sure you make more money as a nurse, probably well into six figures, but that's what I was getting paid back then. I thought, but that was a lot of money to me. A lot of money to me. Ghost, good to see you. And yeah, we need to be very mindful with debt. And look, speaking of debt, I didn't take into account that a lot of these impulse purchases that we make could be on credit cards. All right. So, as y'all know, with credit cards, I'm assuming you know, maybe not everybody, but most of us know that when you swipe the credit card, it's fun. When you have to pay it back, it's not fun. That's all I'll say about that. Swiping it is fun, but paying it back is like, man, like, fine. Like, here, take this minimum payment and leave me alone. I'm gonna pay the minimum until I can, like, until later. Take this money. You know how you give somebody the last piece of gum, like, here, take it. Take this minimum payment and leave me alone. Leave me alone. Somebody on TikTok says, Dash Pass is where all my money goes. It's crazy. I was so bad with DoorDash. All my money went to DoorDash and Tim Hortons. Okay, you must be from Canada. The Tim Hortons gives it away. Tim Hortons. Lindsay. Lindsay went to Walmart for Sprite. The total was $167. That's one expensive Sprite right there. Hopefully it comes with a pillow and a couple of boxes of cereal, a couple of trash bags, some dishwashing soap, maybe a couple of protein shakes. Yeah. It's not really the budget that we make that's unrealistic. It's the fact that we are randomly inspired by things and then we hit buy. And it's become so easy to buy things. That's the thing. It's become so easy to buy things. Like I'm not sure if you've ever bought things off the TikTok shop, but it's incredibly easy to buy things off the TikTok shop. If you use actual cash, you would not spend as much money. So that's another trick. Especially if you have ADHD, you probably should be using cash. I was robbed in college, so I didn't, after that, and I really had lost my wallet and someone took all my money. So I wasn't like rob, but after that, I stopped carrying cash. But if you have ADHD and you feel somewhat safe in your environment, it's probably better to carry cash than to do Apple Pay or Auto Pay or, swiping. Because when you pay with cash, you feel it. You're like, yeah, I felt this. I felt this. So try and pay with cash. Try and pay with cash. Ooh. The second expensive mistake the neurodivergent people may make. This is a good list, y'all. This is a good list right here. Missing deadlines and appointments. This is so personal to me. Like everything I'm talking about, this is personal. This is every day of my life. And I always am thinking and strategizing on what I need to do. Like I take inventory of myself and my actions. I'm like, how can I create a system for myself that allows me to meet deadlines, to be able to, get to appointments on time and not to reschedule. It becomes very costly to miss deadlines because when you miss deadlines, you have to push things back. All right. So if you can't follow a schedule, which is one of our primary issues, then today's problems will become tomorrow's problems. You already have problems for tomorrow scheduled and lined up. But if you cannot accomplish today what was supposed to be done today, it will carry over and roll over into tomorrow. more than likely it'll roll over to the next week. And then you become so overwhelmed and you look at your to-do list and then you do nothing. And then you're like, all right, I need to do a hard reset and figure out which one's a priority and then go from there. And this is something I deal with this actively. And what I'm doing now to account for this, like I said, a system is the only way that you'll be free. Until you come up with a system for yourself, you will never be free. You can do things manually here and there when you have the energy. You can, maybe have one day where you catch up on a lot of things, because you feel inspired. Then you drop off for a couple of days. Then you have energy again. Then you do as much as you can. But until you have a system that accounts for your natural deficiencies, you will always feel like you're running around like a chicken with its head cut off. So you need a system. You gotta have a system. Princess on TikTok has a great comment. It says too many distractions. Yes, we have a lot of distractions. I'm not sure if y'all are up for it because this is a painful thing to do. But if you're brave enough, you should do a time audit. Do a time audit. And that means you take inventory of what you spend your time on, who you spend your time with, and how much time you spend on these things, with these people, on social media, on YouTube, on PS5. And what you'll find is that you waste a lot of time. You waste a lot of time. And like, a girl's gotta scroll on social media and have some time for herself, The fellas have to have some time to also doom scroll and do their thing. But we waste a lot of time. We waste a lot of time because we're distracted. So we're missing these deadlines and appointments. And now you're having to reschedule these things. It's very costly. And besides the financial cost, you also have a cost, an emotional cost. The hit to your self-esteem is pretty damaging because your belief in yourself to get things done drops with every missed appointment, with every missed commitment. You start to believe in yourself a little less, and the negative voices start to go like this. So if you believe in yourself less, you're gonna plan less. Because what's the point in planning if you don't have any belief that you'll follow through on what you plan to do? And because you dropped the ball in the past, it's like, all right, like, I'm not gonna plan anymore. Because whenever I plan, then I don't follow through. And now I have a visual reminder of the things that I wanted to do. I have the checklist. I have everything that illustrates what I was supposed to do, and yet that was what I was not able to do. And it's quite painful. It's quite painful. So this is a key ADHD struggle, but you can also see it with my autistic boys and girls. And this is called executive dysfunction. And sometimes our brains are just so fried from just life in general. Sometimes the best thing that you can do is really just go to sleep. The best thing that a lot of us can do is go to sleep. When in doubt, go to sleep. Go to bed. I'm like, oh, should I do this? I gotta do this, okay? And I'm talking to myself because I have quite a few things that I'm behind on. But if you're out of energy and you're just, you're dragging along, you know how it gets. There's a point in the day where you start to drag along, like, maybe 3, 4 p.m., 5 p.m., whenever your meds are wearing off, or just that natural decline in the day, when you start to see your energy dip. All right, this is a good time to just say, all right, cool, I'm gonna go to bed. And when I say go to bed, I'm not talking about hopping on the game and playing a couple of games of, GTA or Madden. I'm not talking about getting on TikTok. I'm talking about going to bed. Going to bed. When in doubt, just go to bed. Just go to bed. And I feel like I'm a hypocrite by saying that because I struggle to just go to bed. But yeah, when in doubt, brush your teeth, floss, go to bed. Actually, let me backtrack. Drink some water, go poop, floss, brush your teeth, and go to bed. Go the heck to bed. Not the casino. See, y'all don't listen. Go to bed. Go to bed. And that's the thing. We'll do the exact opposite of what we're supposed to do. You'll go to the one place that's 24/7, and then you lose $100, and then you have to restore your honor and pride. So you try to win the money back before you know it's 3 a.m. and you got work at 7 a.m. and you're gonna try and do the next day or that same day on 2.5 hours of sleep, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'll never do this again. But then you do it again the next night, and now you're just overwhelmed. And also, when you're sleep deprived, you're not making the best decisions. All right, you're not making the best decisions for yourself. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, casino may not be the best financial decision. And look, I know from personal experience. The JFXL says, "I love your wife skits." Which wife? Calvin, I can see this. I can see this, and thank you so much for these comments. These comments make my day every time I see it, and I have to say that you saved your life. My videos are just a part of your journey, so the fact that my videos can be a part of your journey means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. So, Calvin, thank you for being here, and thank you for your attention. I see you and your it looks like your significant other smiling in the photo. I'm happy to see two smiling souls. I appreciate y'all. Casino has a hotel. Oh yeah, okay. And one thing about casinos, I'm not sure if y'all have noticed it, but at the casino, like they'll have the number to the gambling hotline. So they'll say if you have a problem with gambling, blah blah, here's the hotline that you can call for support. And right underneath that, they have a coffee station. They have a caffeine station. So they're telling you, hey, if you need help, here's a number for support. At the same time, here's 200 milligrams of coffee. Let's pump you up and let's go back out there and let's try again. Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. But hey, that's their shtick. That's how they do things. This next one right here is personal. This next one right here is personal. Expensive steaks and neurodivergents make. Number 3. Just have to take a deep breath. Just gotta take a deep breath. Oh yeah, there's no clocks in the casino too. Good point. Good point. Good point right here. Avoiding taxes and financial paperwork. The executive dysfunction that I referred to earlier will have you do things like avoid important mail, all because you just don't want to look at it. You'll get an important letter from the county clerk's office, from the IRS, like from Bank of America, from Wells Fargo, from Chase Bank. You'll get an important letter, and you'll know it's important because it says like open immediately, blah blah blah. And for some reason, we'll let the mail just stack up because we know if we open it up, we have to address it and we have to pay something. I don't want to pay it right now. I don't want to pay. Yeah, nobody wants to pay, but if you don't pay, guess what happens? Penalties accrue, interest accrues, taxes. When you file your taxes late, you still have to pay your taxes the same time that people pay their taxes every year or get your refund, however it works. But not paying your taxes is a federal crime. They put people behind bars for that. And we do have up to 3 years to file our taxes, I was told. I don't think we should wait like that. But that's a very neurodivergent thing to be behind on taxes. And getting caught up with taxes is one of the best feelings as neurodivergent. People say, cake is good. Cake, sweets, candy, sex. People say those things are good. But have you ever been caught up on your taxes? Have you ever been caught up on your taxes? What a feeling. Have you ever been caught up on your taxes? What a great feeling. What a great feeling to be caught up on taxes. Car registration as well. All these adulting activities. And I don't think paying taxes is voluntary. Hey, let's slow down now. Let's slow down. Let's let's slow down. I don't think this is voluntary. I I think you have to pay your taxes. Look, last time I checked, I think you got to pay your taxes. Um, yeah, and also it helps to know how to prioritize. That's another. See, when it comes to financial literacy, there should be classes taught in middle school about this. I think we should start young. And in these classes, they should talk about priority. Like, which bill do you pay first? Like, if the money's low, which one do I pay first? Like, there's certain bills that you can take your time to get to, and there's other bills that you don't mess around with. When it comes to the government, give them their money. You know, if it's between paying the IRS back or paying your credit cards, you pay the IRS back first. You pay credit cards second. Medical bills versus the government, you pay the government first. That $50 that you owe your friend for dinner or the IRS, maybe you can pay the $50 back because that's 50 bucks. But still, you got to pay your taxes back. Pay your taxes back. Oh my gosh, you haven't paid in 10 years. Oh wow, okay. All right, hey. Respect. Respect. I'm going to unclick this comment because I don't want the feds to see you. I don't want the feds to see you. It's going to be our little secret. Passion flower. I'm not going to tell nobody what I saw. I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. And on TikTok, somebody says, "Oh no, sounds like me. I'm scared now. I didn't pay taxes last year and I'm freaking out about it." We got to take that scary step to go ahead and file the taxes. And look, whenever you do the thing that you're avoiding, you feel so much better afterwards. And there should be no shame around these things. I've been in all these positions. I've been afraid to file taxes that are behind. I've been afraid to go to the doctor, and I'm Dr. Kojo. you know, I've been afraid to do things that you would consider to be regular adult activities. So anytime you do any of these big things, I still think it's a big thing. Anytime you pay your taxes, anytime you make that doctor's appointment, you give yourself credit. Give yourself credit. These are not easy things. Quite complicated things, actually. They're not easy things. Lady Chloe, I appreciate you. If you have ADHD, there's a disability document that you can get. Oh, please do tell me more about that. Owing taxes on money you work hard for is. Yeah, look, the tax system, once again, hey, that's a whole political debate. I am not a politician. I don't know how none of that works. I you know, remember when we were learning about the 13 colonies in school, and you know, we were learning about the U.S. gaining their independence from the U.K., Great Britain, and they were talking about no taxation without representation. That's how I feel now. I'm like, no taxation without representation. We need representation, and I don't know what representation would entail, but I'm like, hey, before you tax me, like, let me represent something around here. I don't know what it is, but I need some representation because this, you know, I, I'm not feeling it. Andrea, good to see you. My ADHD probably cost me an annual $1,000 just in late fees. Oh, ADHD is very expensive, very expensive, very expensive, and this checks out. Okay, the 13 original colonies. Ah, that was also going in my head too. That's funny. That's funny. Ooh. All right. Now, when it comes to mistakes that we make as neurodivergent people, it's not just financial. There are other mistakes that you can make that can be quite costly. And that leads me to number 4. Trusting people too quickly. Ooh. Trusting people too quickly. My goodness. Wow. A lot of us trust way too quickly. Way too quickly. And you get comfortable with the wrong people. The problem is not that you got comfortable. The problem is that you got comfortable with the wrong people because we need connection. And this may be the universal problem with neurodivergence. The fact that when you don't have your people, the isolation that follows, the loneliness that follows, the sometimes unaliving ideation that follows is a pretty wicked problem. So you need to find your people. And in the absence of solid people, you may unfortunately latch on to people who appear to be friends, but they're not quite your friends. So if you trust people too quickly, it will lead you down a path where you'll end up a little bit more paranoid than usual. It'll be harder for you to make friends. Remember when you're younger, you could just make friends by being on the playground. Hey, I like the color red. I like the color blue. Okay, we're friends. Nah, it's not like that nowadays. Like, you want to assess people's character. You want to see, their character once again. You want to make sure that these are people that you feel safe around, and it's best to just really watch somebody or watch people for a while before trusting people. You want to just take your time, take your time, take your time. And Donut on TikTok says, isolating myself has ruined my quality of life, but people aren't nice. Oh, I felt that right there. When you isolate yourself, you eliminate a lot of problems. See, in the beginning, isolating yourself feels really good because people come with problems, and problems drain you. At the same time, isolating yourself prevents you from connecting with people. And not being able to connect with people comes with its own host of problems. So you have to connect, but you need to connect safely with people that you can trust. People that you can trust. I've always trusted people first and end up getting screwed over. My life stories I share, they tell everyone, leads me to number 5, since it was mentioned. Leads me to number 5. Oversharing with the wrong person. Oversharing with the wrong person, guys. Oversharing is one of the key neurodivergent ways to connect. This is one of the best ways that we connect. By oversharing with people. Overshare. The issue is if you overshare with the wrong people, now you're just giving ammo to somebody who now has the potential to hurt you. They can throw a dagger into your heart. They can embarrass you. They can put you out on Front Street. You overshare with the wrong person. And look, sometimes it's not us who are just signing up to overshare. But I do believe sometimes we are roped into oversharing with people. Have y'all ever had an experience where you're talking to a random person? They appear to be kind. You don't know them. You just met them recently. And now this person that you just met 10 minutes ago is telling you intimate details about their life. Somewhat surface information, but it's intimate details of their life. They're telling you things about themselves. And after they tell you things about themselves, they pause for a second and then they say nothing. Almost as if they're waiting for you to reciprocate and then tell your story. This I don't know if I'm the only one that this happens to, but this happens a lot to me. Somebody will come and overshare and tell me all kinds of things. I'm like, okay, oh yeah. I had a girlfriend way back in the day. Yeah, she was cheating on me with all these people, and like I ended it when she gave me chlamydia. I was like, yo, oh, okay, sorry to hear that. And then after that, they pause, and then it's like, that natural pause gives you time to talk about yourself. So, relationships are cool. If I find somebody I like, yeah, all the people that I've dated, they're pretty cool. I'm grateful for the times that I dated them. Like, you know, it's all cool. I'm not gonna tell you things about myself. Like I don't even know who you are. Like I mean, if your girlfriend cheated on you, like hey, I'm sorry to hear that. Like we're at the bar, we're trying to watch the game. So like let's watch the game, but like hey, like I'm sorry that happened. I'm not gonna tell you about all of my trauma, but hey, like that it sucks for you. So sometimes people may lie. People may lie as well and say things in order to elicit some information out of you. So and Patrick, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. So it's it's important to just take your time, and when you're in doubt about whether a person is safe or not, just pause. Just pause. All right. And now I can hear the backyard again song in my head. Just reading it, I can hear it in my head. But just pause. Pause, pause, pause. And I think I saw a comment from Ghost that I liked. The need to explain ourselves. I agree. One of the biggest issues as neurodivergents that we have is this feeling of being misunderstood. Okay? And I'm going to tell you what will make you very powerful, not only as a neurodivergent, but as a person in general. One of the most powerful things that you can do is let go of your need for understanding. It completely changed my life when I let go of my Zoe, relax, baby. You'll go out to pee later. The dog, I take the dog out to pee, then it doesn't want to pee. And then when I get on live stream, it wants to, nah, you relax. You'll go pee later. But what I was saying is one of the most powerful things I did for myself is I let go of my need to be understood. My life took off after that. I let go of my need to be understood. Now, if people understand me and they know me on an intimate level, it feels really good. I'm not gonna lie, it feels good. But do I have to be understood by people? No. I'm gonna continue to live my life, and you're gonna continue to think what you think about me, and that's fine. And you're entitled to think those things about me. But I know better. I know that whatever you think of me is not actually who I am. If you think great things about me, I'm probably not as good as you think I am. If you think bad things about me, I'm probably not as bad as you think I am, because you don't fully know me. So if that's what you think, then that's great. But I've let go of my need for understanding. So whatever the conversations on the periphery are about me, I don't really know what they are. Like, hey, it is what it is. Like I live my life in a bubble where I do my best to do right by myself and do right by other people and to be kind. And I live my life, my way, and whatever people say is fine. Especially as a public figure, you almost need to have that as a way to insulate yourself. But just in general, people will have opinions about you, and depending on how close you are to these people, it can really bother you. It can really mess with you, especially when people, when they got you messed up, when they spread rumors about you, when they, like they're hell bent on trying to paint you as a certain way so that other people will view you in a bad light. The most liberating thing you can do for yourself is to not correct anybody. Whatever people say, yeah. Not that you're right or you're wrong. Just yeah. And watch people be so confused. Oh, I heard you did X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Oh, I heard you with so and so. Oh, I heard this happened to you. Did it happen? Yes or no? Hey, it's all good. Yeah. I mean, look, you're not telling me anything about yourself. Yeah, that's the whole point. Believe what you want to believe. Because you're gonna want to believe what you want to believe anyway. Like, why am I trying to influence how you feel about me? That's a very dangerous game to play. A very dangerous game to play, and also this can impact how you view yourself, your self-identity. And when you're neurodivergent, especially if you're late diagnosed and you're on your journey to find yourself, become yourself, if you're unmasking, this is a very sensitive time for your self-image, figuring out who you are, how you feel about yourself, and your place in the world. So this is a time where you may naturally be a bit more sensitive, than you've been in the past. Because you're unmasking, so you're feeling things a lot more. On top of that, if you're somebody who is sober, like you're not using any substances, like you're trying to raw dog life, okay, now you're gonna feel everything. So you have to be very kind to yourself as you go on this journey, and also just, why do we care about what people say? Like why? And yeah, it's easier said than done. It's way easier said than done. But like, why do we care about what people say? Figuring out why we care about certain people's opinion of us in our lives is the unlock. And there's certain key people that we really care about their opinion of us, and we place their opinions above our opinions of ourselves. So if you have identified that, just understand that, hey, right now I really care about my uncle's opinion about me more than myself. I care about my mother's opinion of me. I care about my partner's opinion about me more than myself. And then just work to adjust that. Brittany, I appreciate you. Brittany on TikTok, thank you so much. It comes from years of being misunderstood. Right, and look, at a certain point, there's something so beautiful about being misunderstood for years and getting to the point where you no longer want to be understood. Think about how powerful that is. All your life, you want to be understood. You want to be accepted. You want people to know who you are. You want people to actually feel you. You want people to see the real you. And you get to one day you're like, all right, hey, this is who I am. I know me. And if you don't know me, that's cool. That's fine. Ooh, think about how much power you have. Ooh. You got so much power. Like, hey, this is who I am. If you know me, cool. If you don't know me, that's fine. Ooh, you ain't got nothing to prove to nobody? Ooh. Ooh. On TikTok, user 693 says, but then who is gonna understand me? And then after that, they say, I don't know what the real me is. I feel like I'm not even real. Okay, well, see, that's a problem. If you ask who's gonna understand you, like, you're probably on that journey, you're trying to learn yourself. But when you don't care about who is going to understand you, you know what's funny? When you drop your need to be liked, people start to like you. When you drop your need to be understood, people start to understand you. Isn't that crazy? And when you realize this, you're like, damn, my whole life, I've been trying to act in a way that people would get me. Like you spent hard earned energy, because as neurodivergents, you have to reserve and build the energy to go out and do these things. You spent valuable energy trying to convince people of who you are and what you do and what you're about, in hopes that they would like you. And then the moment that you no longer care, the moment that you just give it up, all of a sudden, now people get you. Now they understand you. Now they get you. Now they know who you are. Now they respect you. Now they like you. But now you genuinely don't care. Like you're not even happy that they understand you now. Like you actually don't care. Like if you're a little bit happy that they understand you, like, oh, it means that you care a little bit, and that's fine. But you still care a little bit. You still care a little bit, and that's cool. But you care. That's fine. That's fine. And Amy, it makes you want to be done with people. I know it makes you want to be done with people, but you have to build up the fortitude to once again, put yourself out there to where you can potentially connect with people. Look, I think if you make one lifelong friend per decade, that's really good. Like if you're 25 right now, and by the time you get to 65, you've made 4 lifelong friends in the 40-year times, that's good. One lifelong friend per lifetime is good. you know, It's really hard to find these people. The best you can do is become a solid person, become somebody worth befriending, and then you want to find your people. Ray, thank you for coming out to the show in Beverly, Massachusetts. Y'all were such an awesome crowd in Beverly. I still think about that show. My goodness. I still think about that show. Number 6. This is a big one right here. Number 6. Mistaking. Ooh. And user 693, I appreciate you. Thank you for your attention. Thank you. I hope this is, impactful and educational for y'all. And the show in Detroit is going to be September 11th at the Comedy Bar. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all there in Michigan. Number 6, mistaking attention for friendship. Guys, this right here. Oh my goodness. I think I've always struggled with this. It was not until I, became a public figure and moved to California that my inability to separate friendship from acquaintance was really highlighted. If somebody gives you attention, it does mean that they're your friend. Just let that one sit for a little bit. If someone gives you attention, it does mean that they like you. They could be bored. They could be trying to get something from you. They could be just messing around, having fun. It does not mean that they are your friend. We should not throw around the term friend lightly. Calling somebody your friend is a big deal. Calling somebody your friend is a big deal. And yet, all the live streams will be saved, especially on YouTube and on Facebook. Unfortunately, on TikTok, you can watch it on Kick. You can watch it on Twitch, but you can't watch it on TikTok and I think LinkedIn. But definitely for sure on Facebook and YouTube. For sure. So you can go back and catch the whole thing. But yes, mistaking attention for friendship. You have to know how to decipher. You have to know. Just because somebody's talking to you doesn't mean that they're your friend. And like I said, I really struggle with this. Moving to California, and when I moved, I had 400,000 followers. And looking back now, that was a lot of followers. That's still a lot of followers. I had 400,000 followers on social media, and I thought that everybody in Los Angeles, California was famous. So I moved to California from Virginia. I have all this momentum. I'm having articles written about me. People want to be your friend. Girls want to date you. Guys want to hang out with you. And I'm not realizing that not everybody that I encounter is a friend. And it doesn't mean that you have to avoid people. Don't avoid people. I'm not saying avoid people, but you need to know what boxes to put people in. Because if somebody is just an acquaintance, if they're just a coworker, if they're just somebody that you encounter every now and then, you be kind to them, be cordial. But this is not somebody that you rely on. Like when you're having a hard day. Like you're having a hard day and you confide in this person. This is not your actual friend. I think a lot of autistic individuals really struggle with this. The delineation between a friend and an acquaintance. They're not your friend. Sometimes it feels good to tell them things about yourself because maybe you have nobody to talk to, but they're not your actual friend. They're not your actual friend. So you tell them things about yourself that they can then use later to hurt you, or they can go spread your information to other people. They're not your actual friend. You were just lonely and needed somebody to talk to. And when this dawns on you, you're like, damn, that sucks. Really sucks. We're at the 1 minute. Hey, thank you, Leilani. I appreciate that. Yeah, and Leanne, heck of a question right here. How do you know if someone genuinely is a good friend and is not there to betray you or get something from you? It takes years to figure this out. It takes years, and I'll give an example. Right now, my tour manager, Roberto, that's a good friend. That's a lifelong friend. I met him playing basketball at 24 Hour Fitness in North Hollywood in 2021. We've been friends for 5+ years, and now he goes on the road with me to every city across America on this comedy tour. This is somebody who has never asked me for anything. He's given rides to me without asking me for gas. He's never done anything with the intention of, hey, Coach, can I get this? He's never asked me for a single thing. So whenever I have something that I want to give him, or I'm in abundance and I can give him something, or I can help him out, I'm going to help him out. Never asked me for anything. Always willing to offer. That's a good friend. My friend Andy, met him in LA, same deal. Hey, when the fires happened in LA, was it last year or 2 years ago? I think it was last year, early last year. We had the fires hit LA, and there was like a fire in the Hollywood Hills, and it was like 7 minutes away from me. I had to evacuate. I needed somewhere to stay. Andy and his wife are like, hey, Kojo, come and stay with us for a couple of days, free of charge. We'll feed you. We'll give you shelter. That's a true friend. So when we go out to eat and we eat at a nice restaurant, I'm like, hey, Andy, come on, bring your wife, bring your people, lunch on me, dinner on me. These are actual friends. Now, people that are there to get something from you, they'll do things with the expectation that you'll do something back for them. And sometimes they'll track the good deeds that they've done for you. So they'll bring it up and they'll say, oh, remember that one time you needed a ride and I picked you up from the airport? Like, I've never had an actual friend remind me of a thing that they did for me. But remember that one time that like I gave you like $70 because your car declined. People who keep track of what they've done for you, it's a red flag. Because why would you keep track of? I don't keep track of what I've done for friends. Because that's my friend, that's my buddy. I'm not thinking about that. Why am I thinking of that? Jamie, good to see you. Good to see you, Jamie. I'm not sure how long you're in the live stream, but good to see you. And it can feel like betrayal. Yeah, when you think somebody's a real friend and you find that they're not, yeah, it can really suck. It can really suck. I can count my actual friends on one hand. Yeah, we have fewer actual friends than we know, but one actual friend will go a long way. Go a long way, long way. And yeah. Why would you count favors? That's a big red flag. Counting favors. And user 693 says, Dr. Carter, why does it seem that the world is full of shut down people that don't actually care? Well, hey, look. Look, life is hard for everybody, and there will always be moments where life is rough and life is tough. And some people are just burnt out. And some people, when they're hurt or down, they're looking for a way up, and they'll do anything and everything to get ahead. And unfortunately, this will include using people. So out of desperation, people can do that. And there's just a lot of people who are apathetic, people who've checked out. Like, you never know where somebody's at mentally. Like, I tell people to think about that. You never know where somebody's at mentally, which is always why it's a good idea to be kind, and also a good idea why you wouldn't want to mess with people. Like, you should never try and just mess with folks like you don't know people are at mentally. So apathy is a key hallmark sign of depression. I don't care no more. Like, it is what it is. I care about nothing. So people out here, and they're going through it. We're all going through it in some capacity. Life is never perfect for us at any given moment. But some people are just shut off and they don't care. They don't care. What does count favors say about someone? Well, look, people who count favors, at the core of this is a fear of abandonment. They've been abandoned before. So they feel the need to, remind you of their value. Hey, remember I did this for you. Like after all we've done, like that's a key. I mean, I can think about somebody right now, and obviously I won't get into specifics, but I can think of somebody right now who did this sort of thing with me, and they're like, oh, like we've been through so much, and I was like, like this is an acquaintance. This is not like a friend or somebody who is romantically interested in me. It's just more so of an acquaintance. Like I just know of you, and like you know of me, but we're not like close. But the person's like, oh, like after all we've done, like why would you? Like I forgot everything that I've done for you or what you've done for me. We're friends, so friends look out for each other. So all things that I've done for you, if I've given you a ride or like I don't think about all that stuff. But when people tally that stuff up in their head mentally and they bring it back out, um, they don't want to be left, or they don't want to lose some type of access to you. So yeah, it's definitely rooted in insecurity. Lucy is rooted in insecurity, for sure, for sure. Ooh, Patrick, interesting perspective right there. Two ways of manipulating people by being genuine and not being genuine. Okay, okay. Ghost, I agree. I agree. And yeah, Callie, you should give from the heart. Um, like when you give, you should do it without expecting anything in return. But not everybody's set up that way. And look, if we're being honest with ourselves, sometimes we give or do things with a secret expectation that something good will happen back to us. So it's not just other people. Sometimes we subconsciously do this. So it's not just not just everybody else or other people, but sometimes we may do this. So I mean, this is a key life lesson: figuring out who is an acquaintance and who is a friend. And it's a very painful mistake when you mix or conflate the two. You gotta know who is who. You gotta know who is who. And it's better to err on the side of caution, honestly. Because when you are somebody's best friend, and they're like, oh, that's Andrea, that's Callie, that's Felix, that's Ghost, that's Monica, that's Brittany. And Lily says, what if you're supposed to co-parent with this person? Oh, what a good question. If you're co-parenting with this person, I think it's important to understand that you are a co-parent and do everything you can do for the child, and to be cordial, but to understand that the love that was once there, the connection that was once there, the chemistry that was once there is no longer there. It's as platonic gets. And with the co-parenting, at one point, we all lay down and had a child together. So at one point, or maybe for 5 minutes, who knows, things were good. So sometimes we confuse. Ooh, I feel myself about to deliver a bar. Ooh, sometimes we confuse or we mistake proximity for authentic connection. Just because somebody's close with us, it doesn't mean that like there are actual people. They're just close to us. Like they live down the street, or they go to your church, or you co-parent. Like we're close, but we're not close. We're close physically, but we're not close. And sometimes they will do things to try and make it seem like y'all are closer than you actually are, and then you have to kind of like pull back the curtains and be like, hey, like, all right, thank you, just to let them know, hey, like, yeah, like I appreciate you, I'm kind to you, I'm thankful that you're here, but we're not on that level, respectfully, and that's okay. And sometimes they'll try and force a friendship. If it's not there, you don't have to force it. You don't have to force it. And Lucy, that is a bar. I gotta write that down. We mistake proximity for authentic connection. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I like that. Someone says best friend means you have a worst friend. That's funny. That's funny right there. I've never heard that before. And Mackenzie said this is difference between respect and friendship. I agree. I agree. And yeah, ghosts. Favors are funny. Favors are funny. Like if it's not a real close friend, I'm not the best about accepting favors. Like I'll accept a favor, but when it's not a close friend, it's like all right. Whose dog is that? When it's not a close friend, then you're like all right. Like if I accept this favor from you, like what do I owe you? And nobody wants to feel that way. It's like, all right, like before I take this ride, before I accept this help, like what do I owe you? A real friend's like, hey, like, nah, you good, like, unless they say, hey, like, you can hold this $50 or whatever, you can borrow it, you know. But real friends, we're not counting up like what we do. No, it's not how we do things. Levita, good to see you. Snowcomb says, what do you guys do when you walk by acquaintances or coworkers? Do you do that friendly neighborhood nod? Yeah. You walk past a coworker, you're like, hey, what's up? What's up? Like you can have a really good relationship with a coworker to where y'all are really close. Maybe you're not close, but y'all are very cordial. Anytime you see each other, y'all talk about the game. You know, like, oh, the Bengals did this. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, how's your weekend? How are your kids? Oh, okay. Did your kids play travel ball? Oh, awesome. Like you know things about them, and they know things about you, and you know you're not necessarily friends, but like you're very cordial. You're very kind to them. They're kind to you, but you're not going to their house or you're not, you know, telling them about your marital problems. You're cordial. We need to bring back the cordial, platonic friendship or connection. It's not quite a friendship, but we're cool with each other. We're kind to each other and we look out for one another, but we're not necessarily like friends. If that makes sense. And sometimes it doesn't have to be small talk. You can talk about big talk, but you also know where to draw the line. You know, like you tell them about what happened this weekend. Oh, college football started up this weekend, or oh yeah, the Titans play in a couple of weeks. But you don't tell them about the fight that you had with your wife, and say, oh my wife is bothering me so much. Like that's the hard part for neurodivergence. I think for us to understand, like we're connecting with somebody so much that we're like, hey, let me slip in this extra thing, like this extra piece of personal information. Nah, we gotta draw the lines at some point. We don't have to really go there, but you know, keep a surface level, you know, type sheet, you know. Officer Shannon, good to see you. Good to see you. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, yeah, I go into customer service mode. Like, hey, I don't even talk like that. Like, what the heck? You know, hey. Sometimes I'll do that and I'll be like, I'm like, where did I come from? Hey, how are you? Put some bass in my voice. Hey. Yeah. So that's the masking. It comes out every now and then. I'm like, what the? Yeah, like, oh, hey, high pitched feminine hey. Like, where the heck did that come from? I'm like, that's not me. I'm like, you know, what the heck? Like, I'm like, my goodness, like, you know, like I realize that it's fake, but I'm like, I'll be disgusted with myself, and then I'll move on. I don't beat myself up, but for 2.5 seconds, I will be disgusted with myself. I'm like, yeah. Ridiculous. Yeah, the fake laugh. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'm clearly capping. The K Royale says, is it ever okay? Is it okay to tell? Is it okay to ever tell your business to your friends, or just keep it for therapy or priest? So it depends on what you would characterize as a friend. Here's my rule: if you wouldn't want whatever you say to this friend to be told to somebody else that they know, then don't say it. Because you know, people talk. People talk. You tell a close friend something, like, if we're being honest, a lot of people will tell their partners, their ladies, their men, secrets at night. They'll be pillow talking, like, oh, did you know, like, John, like, he's missing a testicle, like, you know, like one of his balls don't work, you know. Do you know that, like, his wife has been cheating on him for the past, like, 4 months, and, like, you know, like, people talk. People talk. So, obviously, a wild example, you know, real wild example. But people talk. So, if it's nothing that you mind people sharing with their partner, then, you know, tell them. But assume that people will tell their closest friend. You know, there's always that one person that people tell. Like, that's what I believe. You know. Can you tell when people are fake laughing? Oh yeah. Cause I'd be fake laughing too. I'd be fake laughing too. So yeah, I can tell when people are fake laughing, and, like, I don't call people out on it, but unfortunately, I'm, like, extremely, like, observant of that. So, like, I can tell you're fake laughing, and it's cool. You know. Yeah. The left testicle is dead, but the right one works just fine, and, you know, like, he has erectile dysfunction, and his wife has been, like, sexually dissatisfied. Like, people really tell stuff like that to people. Do this, and sometimes we may be the people in question, you know. So, like, is it common to have ADHD and BPD? When you say common, I don't know what you mean by common, but you can definitely have it. There's a lot of people who have all three: BPD, autism, and ADHD. Bezos laugh is insane. Like, generally speaking, gossip is best to stay away from gossip. My life is. I've never been a person to gossip, but I just gossip. Yeah, I will stay away from gossip. Just never been a fan of it. Never been a fan of gossip. Because if somebody can gossip to you, they can gossip about you. So I'm not a fan of gossip, and I don't. I don't correct rumors or anything like that. So if I have 4 wives, or, you know, I don't care. Like, you know, or if somebody's like, oh, he's gay, or, like, sure, whatever. Gay people are humans too. Or, like, oh, he's a narcissist. He's, you know, he's broke. He abuses. People will get wild with what they say. And sometimes, like, you'll be upset. Like, if somebody's calling you an abuser, or, like, the things that you can be called are pretty bad. But I have no desire to correct anything. Like, say what you want to say. Dudes talk. Dudes be talking. Dudes be talking. Like, I've heard a lot of, you know, the juiciest pieces of information from dudes, and I don't know how they know it. They probably hear it from, you know, the girlfriends or the wives or whoever, but it is what it is. And yeah, I do agree that there's a lack of community. Um, it's not all internet, you know, based, but there's a lack of community, and we're missing that more than ever. Like, you cannot purchase community. You know, like, you can't luck your way into. Well, I guess you can luck your way into it, but it's not a tangible thing you can purchase. Like, you have to work at having a community. You're gonna be inconvenienced, but when you have people around you that genuinely care about you, man, that's a great feeling. Like, that's the type of feeling that keeps people alive. Like, it makes life worth it. It makes the bad days that less bad. It's such a good feeling. Such a good feeling. All right. Okay. All right. I gotta get to a couple of emails and call it a night. This has been a good live stream. Been a great live stream, y'all. Looking at the next couple of weeks. Yeah, we'll have a live stream Thursday. Last week we didn't have one. I had to travel. I should have known that. I was traveling. But we'll definitely have our normal Thursday live stream. I know September is a crazy month. As you know, 6 comedy shows. You know, the majority of them which are on Wednesdays and Thursday. So for those weeks, we may have like a Sunday live stream. Like we may have like one live stream a week because we'll be on the road. But then we have like one comedy show in October, Seattle, and then one in November. It starts to become a bit more normalized. But September is a month to get it. September is a very, very, very busy month. So, John, good to see you. Took my sleepy time banjo. I'm about to take my banjo right now and go through a couple of emails and get me some rest. Give me some rest tonight. Daddy gotta get some rest tonight. He tired. It is 11:11 on the East Coast because it's 8:11 right here. So 11:11 on the East Coast. Like, make your wishes. Make your wishes. You know. And next goal 253 million. I appreciate that. And yeah. So that is it for the live stream. Tavania, you're coming to the Virginia Beach show. Thank you for wearing your husband down, and thank you for getting tickets to the Virginia Beach show, Tavania. Very beautiful name, by the way. Beautiful baby too. Thank you for thank you for getting those tickets. Virginia Beach. That's going to be September 30th on a Wednesday night. We're going to be Virginia Beach, Virginia. And for the people who are not aware of the show dates, once more, September 11th, Detroit. September 17th, Chandler, Arizona. The 23rd, Cleveland, Ohio. The 24th, Columbus. The 30th, Virginia Beach, where I will see Tavania. The 1st of October, Richmond, Virginia. The 18th of October, Seattle, Washington. The 7th of November, Atlanta, Georgia. The 3rd of December, San Diego, California. California. Leon, I appreciate you. Appreciate you. My future kid's name. Oh. Ooh. What a crack. What a crack. Oh, I gotta get this dog out for. I was like, oh, I can just take my banjo and go to sleep and do these emails. I gotta take the dog out for a walk too. Tavinia. All right, I wanna make sure I say it correctly. Tavinia. Awesome. And Yas Kid. Okay. See you on the 11th of September in Detroit. Tavinia and Yas Kid. All right, y'all. That's it for tonight's live stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. You all are the best. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. And until the very next show, which is this Thursday, 9 o'clock East Coast time, 9 o'clock New York time, 8 o'clock Nashville time, 6 o'clock Arizona time. No. I got started over. Sorry. 9 p.m. New York time, 8 p.m. Nashville time, 7 p.m. Colorado time, 6 p.m. Los Angeles time, 5 p.m. Alaska time, 4 p.m. Hawaii time, 2 a.m. United Kingdom time. Yeah. There we go. I got it right. Perfect. All right. I'm like, we cannot end the live stream on me getting the dates wrong. All right. So that is the next live stream, which is this Thursday, 9 o'clock East Coast time, 6 p.m. California time. And until then, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Get some rest. Good night. Peace.